Let us give you a warm welcome and let's give you the applause. And the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Roman. In introducing myself to you, I've decided to tell you a little bit about the people who have had the most influence on me, my mentors, and what I feel they gave me. I'm going to start with my maternal grandmother, Mamo, Elsie, and she taught me unconditional love. Her smile, the way she smiled at her granddaughters, uh, we felt the most cherished people on earth, and that's a gift that you can't measure. I'm trying to think of how to say allotment in here, and so I'm stammering. The allotment of love that she gave us was unconditional, and she was a hard worker. She was always cleaning, sewing, cooking. She loved to watch birds. One of my favorite memories is we would put breadcrumbs out on the backyard and then wake up early before dawn to see which birds would be having a feast out to enjoy the crumbs. She was proud of how strong Swedish women were, was always emphasizing how we could face anything. We were unflappable. I have this image of her hoisting a heavy load of laundry over her shoulder and telling me Swedish women are strong. My other grandmother, my paternal grandmother, was Carolyn, who I called Nana, and she was a refined, stylish English woman, but she was also a bit of a rebel. I got to meet her relatives in England this past year, and they called her Crazy Carolyn because she joined the vaudeville circuit at 16 and came to America. They thought she would come to her senses and come back to England, but lucky for me, she stayed here, and I got to be born an American. She was a great reader, and she took me to Pickwick Bookstore in Hollywood for the first time, and I thought I had found Nirvana. I remember it was a birthday and I was 10, and I picked out Ernest Hemingway's Old Man and the Sea. She was a independent thinker. She believed in astrology and vegetarianism and psychic abilities and things that challenged the mind, and I admired, and I think I inherited some of her independent thinking and open-mindedness. My next person I'm going to focus on is my mother, Donna, and she was only 16 years older than I, and we were always best friends as well as mother-daughter relationship. She had a great sense of fun. We would sit for hours on the floor playing paper dolls and doll furniture and Barbies. She had a very rich fantasy life and sense of fun, and instilled in me an appreciation of the beautiful and magical in life. Disneyland, fairies, garden gnomes, the ice capades. She really shaped my imagination and sense of fun and taught me how to be a loving woman. She had an instinctual ability to interact with people and make people feel at ease and listened to. And people really trusted her. And I hope to emulate those qualities. And last but not least is Ken, my father, who you all know. He is the epitome of discipline, can-do spirit, resourcefulness, desire to excel, patience. You can't imagine what a great father and teacher he was. He was a mechanic in my early life. He was always working at home and the shop, under his tool bench, under his car, at his tool bench, and teaching me. My third grade science project was how the spark gets to the spark plug. And so learning to look around at the mundane and see how science and engineering are emulated in them was his curiosity and his desire to learn. He reinvented himself mid-career. He was a mechanic and then he became a financial planner. And watching him study for hours and hours on end and change his career midstream taught me that to continue to dream and reinvent yourself, and that you're only limited by uh, your self that's mid-speech meltdown for the first one. How historic. He was always building things. He built a tree house and a playhouse from the ground up, and watching each step and seeing how marvelous. I thought he was a magician, and he is. He was always coming up with great ideas of things to do, whether it was building a tree house or flying kites or going to the train yard to pick out the best Christmas tree, or uh, barbecues for the neighborhood. He personified and illustrated the fact that life was not a spectator sport. Life was for embracing fully 110%, and hard work pays off. I hope that I'm as a positive an influence on my husband and my 27-year-old Maddie as my mentors and my father specifically were on me. And I encourage you all to recognize and thank those who helped you become who you are. Thank you very much.